welcome to another tutorial on Fusion 360. Today we are going to look at how to import a scalable vector graphic into Fusion of some existing toys and then prepare that for a milling machine. And that's all going to begin with a quick search for an appropriate vector graphic. So I'm going to be using a really good resource here, Vecteezy. And for this little project, I'm looking for construction vehicles. And the key in this kind of searching from Vecteezy is that over here you're looking for those with a free license. And you also want to try to find an image that doesn't have too many details in it and has a reasonable amount of spacing and gaps, so that you're going to be able to, the tool in the machine is going to be able to fit in there and cut it out. Let's see if we can use this one. Okay, we can see these are nice, just easy lines around each of the vehicles that the tool could potentially follow. This one here we'll have to modify slightly, but let's go ahead and use a free license for this. Here is the, in this case, an Illustrator file. Sometimes from Vecteezy you get SVGs or Illustrator files. Either one of them is suitable. Go ahead, create a new file. This file here, we will force the file to be in millimeters, and we want to use RGB as the color mode. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take one of these graphics, the little car here, and I'm going to go ahead and paste it into this document. Okay, that seems to have fixed the problem, and you can see now that the general mass of this graphic, we can see it here expressed in width and height of millimeters. So that's 189, let's say 190 by 100. I've just measured a vehicle here. I'm going to try to standardize the measurement. So I'll put it at 100 and it automatically scaled the height for me. So I'm going for, generally speaking, no more than 10 centimeters long, or in this case, wide. And so that's the first image there. And now we'll go ahead and look at this truck. I'll bring it into here. And then again, rather than manually try to adjust the size, you're best off trying to doing it here with calculations that Illustrator will perform for you. So we'll say 3 times that of the car. So we'll make this 300, press tab. And then again, sit it next to the car to get a sense of, is that a realistic size? That's a pretty big piece of wood, this truck and trailer. 300 long. Let's see what 200 looks like. That's better. Okay. So there we have it. Got 4 vehicles. I'm just going to line them up nicely. And then the next thing I want to do is go to my document setup, and actually I want to specify a document size from one of the presets for A3. So we've got A3 paper in the studio. A3 photo paper, and I'm going to print out these graphics on that A3 photo paper just like this. Okay, so I'll just undo that. So now we're ready to save two versions of this, one for the photo paper and an SVG version for Fusion. So we'll go ahead and save a copy. And let's be our vehicles, PDF, print, and keep that somewhere you're going to be able to find it. Okay, and this will be a PDF. And then the second version we're going to create, saving as a copy, is down here in the format SVG. And similar name, let's call that print, and I'll just call this one Vehicle Fusion. Save. So we get a little dialog box like this. Just click OK. Okay, so one of those is going to be sent to the printer, and one of them is going to be imported into Fusion. So let's take a look at that. Jump across to Fusion, a new document here, and the very first thing I'm going to do is just simply choose Insert SVG. I'm going to choose the bottom plane, then you'll have a Insert SVG dialog here, and a little icon for a folder where you can browse to the graphic that you have prepared. So in my case, here it is. Open it. Now the next step is quite important. Already Fusion has aligned this top left corner to the origin of this sketch document. I'm going to leave it there as is. I'm not going to make any adjustments because I've made all those necessary adjustments in Illustrator. So I'm going to click OK and then Finish Sketch. And you may need to zoom out and see. So it's adopted the same scale as what I was working with in Illustrator. And now my task is pretty straightforward. I'm just going to use the extrusion or the extrude command, and I'm going to get in quite close and just tell Fusion all the parts that I need extruded. Okay, and now I have all the parts selected. And what I want to do is make sure the operation here is set to new body. So we're creating new bodies from the parts that we've selected. And I've already checked the piece of material that these are going to be milled from, and that's 15.2 millimeters is the extrusion. I'll click OK, and then Fusion will do the magic for us. So we switch to this view, and now we have taken a drawing and created a 3D version of it. So something to highlight while we're here, what happens if you have a change in your material thickness? So a really useful thing to do is to define your thickness as a parameter. It's very easy to do. You go to the Modify menu and click Change Parameters. We're going to add our own user parameter, and I'm going to call this thickness, and I'm going to put in for the expression 15.2. Click OK, click OK. So what does it mean? Now I can go down here to when I extruded all these parts. I'm just going to edit that feature And you'll notice, if you recall, I put in the nominal value of 15.2. I'm just going to change that to the parameter that I just defined, thickness, and press enter. And you'll see that no change seems to have occurred. It's because I've, of course, specified thickness to be 15.2. But again, what if you happen to change materials? You have a thicker or thinner material. You don't have to go to each of these parts and update it. You can simply go to the parameters menu and you can modify your custom parameter here. So let's say we want to output to the laser or 3D printer. Then we'll need to just simply say, okay, well, maybe we're going for 9mm now. Click 9 and you can see all the parts have adjusted to 9. So I'm going to undo that change because I'm leaving it at 15. And now we're going into the second part of this tutorial, which is just showing the preparation for the milling machine. Before I do that though, I'd better save this file into my folder here. And construction vehicles 15.2 is my naming convention here. Save. Okay, that's good.